see that A, E, U, A, E, U, A, O. So always according to Kachayana grammar, A, O. These two letters we pronounce as long pronunciation. So with the long tone. A, O. So according to another grammatical tradition, they said they have short A and long A. A, O. So they count 43 letters. 43 letters. So that is quite different, but it doesn't matter. Don't take it as serious. But I just remind you that. So when we study Pali, so we have to pay attention, like some, okay, what are the, at least when we read, as I said, like in Pali language, there are 41 letters. 41 letters. So there are, among these 41 letters, 8 letters are called vowels. 8 letters are called vowels. Remember, in Pali, letters are called akkara. Akkara. So if you read this one, akkara padayo eka chattalisang. Akkara padayo eka chattalisang. Eka chattalisang means, eka means 1, chattalisa means 40. So the 41. Akkara means the letters. Akkara means the letters.
Excuse me, Venerable.
Yes.
Can you move your PowerPoint, or this is your PowerPoint? So I can see sort for learning Bali only. This is right?
Yeah, wait. I thought it's already moved. Okay, now you can see, Venerable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry, because I thought it's something happened. Okay, I keep like this. So, okay. So here, akkara padayo eka chattalisang. So eka means the 40. So in Pali language or the Pali alphabet, there are 41 letters. 41 letters. So from those 41 letters, 8 letters are called vowels. Vowels in Pali we call sara, right? Sara. So now if you go through, if you go familiar with English alphabet, in English alphabet there are 5 vowels. There are 5 vowels. But in Pali,
thì đến lúc mà sư mở khóa thiền lại thì cô có thể tham gia. Dạ, vâng ạ. Nhưng mà tham gia thì theo đúng nghĩa tham gia, chứ không phải là tham gia qua YouTube như này.
Dạ. I, U, A, O. These are called vowels, right? Or other, in Pali we call sara. Sara is feminine. Itilinga. So that's why the akkara padayo eka chattalisang. Tatto danta sara at. Sara means vowels. At means O danta means ending with O. So when you count the vowels, A, E, U, A, E, U, A, O. So this one, O is the last letter of the vowels. Last letter. So it is called O anta. Ending with O. Ending with O. Starting with A, ending with O. So these 8 letters are called vowels. 8 letters are called vowels. So that is just like basic introductions about the vowels. So remember that 3 vowels are called short vowels and 5 vowels are called long vowels. Short vowels like A, E, U, we call short vowels. A, E, U, A, O. These 5 letters we call long vowels. Short, long. In Pali, short, it is called rasa. And long, digha. Rasa, Digha. Rasa Digha. So Rasa for the short vowels, the Rasa Sara, or they call they call like Lahumata Tayo Rasa. Tayo means 3. Rasa means the short vowel. Diga, Anye Diga, and other 5 letters are called Diga, long vowels. Long vowels, right? So this is try to repeat or try to pronounce these vowels like a, e, a, I, u, e, o. Remember that a always pronounced as long vowel. O always pronounced as long vowel. But in such case, okay, all are familiar, right? Evang me sutang. Evang me sutang ekang samayang bhagava. So evang, it is not evang. Me sutang ekang. So evang me sutang ekang samayang. So here evang me sutang ekang samayang odanta. Odanta. So these always wherever you see A and O, you have to pronounce as a long vowel. But if these 2 letters, 2 vowels, right before the combined letters, right before the combined letters, then we pronounce these 2 letters as short vowel. Short vowel. So that is the reason when you when you bless someone, it is called sotti. Sotti te hotu. Sotti te hotu. May you be happy. May you be happy. Sotti. So even though it is O, starting with O, but second letters, second part of the sentence or the part of the word, those are called combined letters. Combined letters. So when there are combined letters, even these 2 letters A and O, we pronounce as short vowel. So please notice that A, O always pronounced as long vowels. Long vowels. Odanam. Odanam. What does mean odana? Odana. Any venerable? Odana. Odana means rice. Odana means rice. Ahang odanang bunjami. Ahang odanang, or you can say that ahang odanang pachami. I cook rice. I cook rice. Some say that they said like odana can use for the not the ripe one or the cooked one, but for the cooked one you can use the term bhatta. So ahang bhattang bunjami. Ahang bhattang bunjami. I eat rice. But ahang odanang pachami. Ahang odanang pachami. I cook rice. So that don't worry about this usage. But odanang it can be used as common terms for the rice. So it is always pronouncing as odanang. 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 But another terms for the lips. For the lips in Pali we call otta. Otta. So we are not pronouncing that one, that word as ot. Ot. No, that is wrong. Why we don't pronounce as ot? Because the second part of the word letters are called combined letter. It. Ot. Ot. So therefore that word we pronounce as short vowel. In Pali, here. In Pali we call etta. Etta means here, in this place. So you have to know also like some prepositions. Etta, here. Yatta, where. Yatta means anywhere. Kutta, where. So some prepositions like that. So here, etta means here. But why we are not pronouncing as etha? Because the second part of the word we take as combined letters or joining letters or joined letters. So therefore, these words like second part of the word are appearing as combined letters or the joined letters. We don't pronounce A and O as long vowels, but we still pronounce as those two letters as the short vowels. But tradition is that mostly A and O they pronounce as long vowels, but in some case that might be some special usage. So when the second part of the word seems combined letters, then we pronounce as these two letters or the two vowels as short vowels. So that is to remind you that. And also like it is noticeable wherever you meet up with some words. Otherwise, even Pali, it is necessary to remember the pronunciations. Otherwise, you know that if you change the pronunciations, or it change the meaning, So that is very common when we come to consonant or the byanjana. We will know some words like if you even writing, we have to concern that something some like diacritical marks. Otherwise, we brings a different meaning. So the pronunciation also the same. That is very important. Okay, so beside these eight vowels, there are remain letters, or the 33 letters we call consonant or byanjana. Why they are so called as byanjana? So the byanjana consonant, they are unable to pronounce without support of the vowels. So we have to mix, we have to combine consonant or these letters with vowels, then we can pronounce. But later we will go for that. But from the consonant, 25 letters are called as Vagga Akkara. Vagga Akkara means grouped letters. So what does mean group letters? I think most of the students, if Thai alphabet, even though when they study the alphabet, they use something additional to remind that this word is pronounced as like this. But I think Pali alphabet composed exactly based on, the Thai alphabet composed exactly based on Pali alphabet. So if you read like ka, 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 kha, ga, ga, ng, kakha, gaga, ng, kakha, gaga, ng. So this like you take advantages. When you learn Thai, it is like maybe like I'm not sure exactly the same, but kokai. So then this actually you take some words to mention that this letter we pronounce like this word. Otherwise, if you forget about these words you use to remind the alphabet, so you just take the first letter ka, 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 ka. So you see the first one I have to pronounce like ka, ka. There is no any hesitations or the extra energy I have to take to pronounce this letter. So I pronounce as ka. But the second letter, I have to pronounce as ka, ka, right? Ka, ka, ga, gha, ga, gha, nga, nga. See, last letter, this letter we call nasals, nasals, because these 5 letters we have to pronounce like a nasal consonant. Nasal consonant means later we will come, but for the moment, look at this one. The first group we call ka vagga, group belong to ka vagga. So ka kha, ga gha, nga, ka kha, ga gha, nga. And I'm not going to go into the details, but I hope that most of the students they are familiar, and maybe some they have some background like Venerable from Myanmar, so it is for them it's quite easy. So some students maybe they are not that much. Any students you can interrupt me if you want to know, if you want to ask anything. So I rarely receive the message. Could it be possible for it? Okay. So later I will come. So here the first group of the letters we call ka vagga, ka vagga. So how do you pronounce these 5 letters? You have to pronounce ka, kha, kha, ga, gha, nga. So these 5 letters we call kavagga, kavagga. In Pali, these 5 letters are called kantaja, kantaja. Kanta means throat. Kanta means if you forget the language, but it's called kanta means the throat. Kanta means the throat. So the letters, those are originated with compromising the throat and air. So those 5 letters we call gutturals. Kanta, ja. In English we call gutturals kanta, ja. Kanta, ja. Because when you pronounce, you feel that kha, kha, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, ka, kha, ga, ga, nga. So those 5 letters. And a second group, or the second group of the letters we call cha vagga, cha vagga, cha vagga. So when you pronounce these 5 letters, you have to follow that cha, 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 ja, ja, nya, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. So they are called as palatals. Palatals. So palate means talu, in Pali called talu. When we translate in English, that goes palate. So the letters are originated within our palates. We call palatals. They call in Pali talu ja, talu ja. So then when you pronounce like cha, 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 ja, ja, nya, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. So if you take like the first letter, first 5 letters, some word we will come later on, like how those words are appearing, those letters are appearing in the word, and when you pronounce, you may feel that okay, this has to be like this. So later we will come, but for the moment, cha, 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 ja, ja, nya, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Right, I can see only lay students here. Okay. Yes, like Pun Achara, Pun Pusapa. maybe Jutarat. So yes. So when you pronounce like I think maybe some of students are familiar, but if not, like these five letters we call Chavagga. So when you pronounce like a cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cha, yeah, try. Cha,
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 cha, cha,
yeah, ja,
cha,
ja.
yeah,
See? Yeah. So that's why I said like the pronunciation like these the first five letters we just pronounce like without any sound or soundless. That is called aghosa. So later we will come back. For the moment, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Okay. So this the second group, and the third group we call ta vagga. Why does it call tavagga? Starting from t. So that is this called like cerebrals. Ta 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 da da n. Ta ta da da n. Ta ta da da n, or ta ta da da n. So these are called muddhaja. In Pali we call muddhaja. Muddhaja means you can imagine that when you pronounce these five letters, of course, your tongue is touching upper part of your mouth. So therefore it is called cerebrals. Ta, 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 da, da, n. Of course, I'm sure that in Thai alphabet also the same, but they use like maybe some additional words to make it easy to remember. So therefore we hardly clarify, but in otherwise like the terms, of course the letters are exactly same as Pali alphabet. So I mean the pronunciation. So writing system completely different, but ta, ta, tha, da, dha, n, ta, tha, da, da, n, right? So these the five letters we call ta, vagga, or cerebrals. And next the group we call ta, vagga, tavagga. So in English, we call dentals, and Pali we call danta ja. So danta means teeth. Danta means teeth. So ja means origin. So the letters originated. When you pronounce these five letters, of course, your tongue will touch or contact your teeth. So therefore, these five letters we call danta ja. Danta ja. When you pronounce like a ta, 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 tha, da, dha, na, tata, da, da, na, right? Ta, tha, da, dha, na, ta, tha, da, dha, na, right? Yuan Fa, are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
Venerable. Ta,
Yes.
da, da, nga.
Yeah. Once again.
Ta, da,
This
ta,
one like a ta,
ta, ta, ta, ta,
ta.
ta.
Yes. Da,
Da,
da.
da,
Yeah.
na,
Na. Yeah.
na.
Ta, tha, da, dha, na. So these yeah, of course, like these the five letters, or these five letters, and this group we call vagga. In Pali we call danta ja. So because of those letters, like it is something happening or what is going on with our tongue and the teeth. So therefore they call danta ja. and the last 5 letters we call labials or pavagga. Pavagga in Pali we call ottaja. Ottaja. Before I said that otta means lips. Otta means lips. So when you pronounce these 5 letters, something only things are happening with your lips. Pa, bha, ba, bha, ma. Pa, bha, ba, bha, ma. Pa, ba, bha, ma. Pa, ba, bha, ma. So these 5 letters we call pavagga. Pavagga or ottaja. Ottaja. Who is Vorojani? Vasuratna? Vorojani Vasuratna?
Yes. I'm
Yes.
here. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you repeat? Pa,
Ba pa ba pa ma.
Pa,
Correct.
ba, bha, ma.
Okay,
So
again.
this, yeah.
Ba pa ba pa ma. Right?
Yes, of course, because
It's similar to Thai.
of course, that's why I said that most of the I mean, like when you introduce the alphabet, the what's called the letters, like maybe to make it easier, just like in English, when you study, or you use A for apple, B for something like that. So then A for apple, something like that. So then PÂŽ something maybe came out.
Thank you.
Yeah. So then otherwise, this actually, as I said, these consonant are unable to pronounce without vowel. So we have to combine with the vowels. So then we can pronounce like complete letter. So then if you take once again, I repeat all: ka, kha, ka, gha, nga, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, tha, tha, da, dha, na, ta, tha, da, dha, na, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. So take those the 5 letters, the first 5 letters in the group. We call to make it easier. When you pronounce, I can say simply ka, cha, ta, tapa, ka, cha, ta, tapa, ka, cha, ta, tapa, ka, cha, ta, tapa. Right? My pronunciation simple, and I don't have to take any extra energy or anything, like just pronounce kachata tapa, kachata tapa. So, but the second group, second 5 letters, when you pronounce, you have to pronounce ka, cha, ta, ta, pa, ka, cha, ta, tapa, ka, cha, ta, tapa. Right? And third group, third line, ga, ja, da, daba, gajada, daba, gajada, daba. But fourth line, ga, ja, da, daba, ga, ja, da, daba. So it has to, those letters have to pronounce in that way. And last group, I said that this group, these letters we call nasal, nasal, nga, nga, nya, na, na, ma, nganyana nama, nganyana nama, nganyana nama, nganyana nama. Okay. Let see.
Nasal is not in the table, right?
Sorry.
The nasal is not in the table, right?
I didn't put any name, but these 5 letters, or these 5 letters we call nasal letters. Nasal means like you know something. When you pronounce nga, nga, nya, na, nama, nganyana nama, nganyana nama. Okay. So who is DMNI?
Yes, Acha.
Yeah. Yes. Could you like maybe the pronounce the first group for first 5 the 5 letters?
Yes, let me try it. Ka, cha, tha, ta, tha, pa.
Yeah. And second?
Ka, cha, tha, tha, tha.
Yeah. So it has to, I mean, the voice has to be different, not the same. But first one, I just simply pronounce kachata, tapa, kachata, tapa. But the second 5 letters, ka, cha, tha, tapa, kachata, tapa.
Ka, cha, tha, 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 pa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ga, ja, da, daba, gajada, daba. So,
Da, cha, da, da, ba.
yeah. And next.
Difficult. Ga, cha, da, da, ba.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. Jutarat?
Yes.
Yes. I just want to, could you repeat the second line? Ka, cha, ta, ta, pa.
Second row of ka, cha, ta, ta, pa.
Yeah. Ka, cha, ta, ta, pa.
And what
Right?
do you call that row? What's the name of that row?
No, I just like this call in the group letters. So this call the first. I just take first 5 letters, second 5 letters. So this is if the letters we call like kantaja, taluja, muddaja, dantaja, ottaja. Right, but for the make it pronunciation easier, I just use the first 5 letters and second 5 letters like they call these actually 5 letters we call ghosa. Ghosa means the sound. Ghosa means the sound. So 4 letters I mean in the grouping letters, the group letters, 2 groups they call aghosa. Aghosa means soundless. So when you pronounce it, soundless, aghosa. And another group they call ghosa, the letters with sound. That means like when you pronounce ka, cha, tha, tha, pa, gaja, da, da, ba, gha, ja, da, da, ba. So last 5 letters we call nasal. In Pali we call actually nasikya. Nasikya means nasa means nose. Nasa means nose. Nose has another term in Pali, ghana. Ghana. Remember when you talk about 5 senses, panchendriya or 5 senses, we call chakku, sota, ghana, jivha, kaya. Kaya. So chakku means eye. Chakku means eye. Sota means ear. Ghana means nose. Jivha means tongue. Kaya means body. So these are called 5 faculties. 5 faculties. So pancha indriya. Pancha indriya. So here I just want to say that nose. In Pali there are 2 terms for nose. One is called nasa. Nasa. Remember, not NASA in America. Nasa means nose. So Pali we call nose. Pali we have the terms nasa. Nasa. So these 5 letters we call because originated like when you pronounce almost sound comes from the nose. So they call nasikya. Nasikya. Nasal sounds nga, nya, na, nama, nganyana, nama, nganyana, nama, nganyana, nama. In fact, if you are in the classroom, that is quite easy to learn and write something and can see with the words. But however, that since this situation, we just learn like this. Okay, so now once again I repeat all letters: ka, cha, ta, tapa. So ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. Second group: cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. So these are we call grouped letters, or they already included into 5 groups. So therefore, those letters are called group letters. But another thing is that I think most of students, they are familiar, but I just repeat or remind you that in Pali there are 41 letters, and English there are 26 letters. So now there is an issue how we can complete or cover 41 letters within 26 letters. So therefore, to make it easy, when you write in the former time, actually what they did when they find some letters to make like I just mentioned here, like this one, like a Panatipata Veramani Sikha Padang Samadhyami. Panatipata Veramani Sikha Padang Samadhyami. Right? Panatipata Veramani Sikha Padang Samadhyami. Now when you pronounce, when you write those words in Romanized version, so the Roman scriptures, so there are 26 letters, so the letters are not enough to complete the mission. So they use some mark. They used some marks. So those marks are called diacritical marks. Diacritical marks. So okay. In earlier, the early period, when they are not much familiar, they use symbol like this. Look at this one, pa. Why they put dot before na? Because when you see the alphabet, the grouping letters, this one, this letter, they call muddhaja. Muddhaja. So muddhaja with the dot, they call na, pana. Pana. So these words, pana, why we have to be careful with these letters when you write. If you the word pana, when you pronounce, it has actually two different meaning. Pana means drinking. Pana means drinking. You remember the word anna pana. Anna pana. So anna means the foods, any material foods, anna, and pana means the beverage. Anna, pana, foods or drinking of the foods and beverage. So pana means beverage. So if you write this word without any diacritical marks, it has the meaning of pana. Pana means the drinking. Pana means the drinking. So this word actually, okay, like this, without diacritical marks, right? I didn't use any diacritical marks. So these words has different meaning. This called like for the drinking, or even the any beverage we call pana. But this one is called panatipata with diacritical marks. Look at this diacritical marks. They use pa, na, why. This pana means not the drinking, not the beverage, but the living beings. Living being. Any living beings, any creatures, we call pana. But it has to write with a diacritical mark. Otherwise, it brings different meaning. If you miss diacritical mark, when you write Pali, if you miss diacritical marks, it brings probably different meaning. So sometimes we have to be careful when we use when we write Pali in English. So that is the reason when our students they do the dissertation, and whenever they meet any Pali terms, so they have to recognize how to write these terms in English alphabet using. So then also like that is the reason we always advise it to clarify Pali words within the dissertation with making those terms as italic form, not like a normal form but the italic. So it is easy to recognize this terms is not exactly related to English, but it is in the Pali. So here, if you don't concern with diacritical marks, of course, Pana, as I said, Pana has a different meaning. So, but with the diacritical mark, it brings the different meanings. This Pana means the any living being, right? Any living beings we call Pana, right? Any living beings we call Pana to different meaning. So we have to use such a diacritical marks in order to clarify the letters and also the according to the Pali language. So here like Parnati Pata Veramani Sikha Padang Samadhiyami. So now we have many lay students. I would like to ask, since this subject also related to Pali. So what does mean Samadhiyami? Samadhiyami. What does mean Samadhiyami? What does mean Samadhiyami? Okay. Who is Jun Ekeda? Jun?
Yes.
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 Yes. I familiar like Samadhiyami.
I understand that's a phrase from the 5 precepts, but I don't understand just Samadhiyami.
Okay. So okay, like if you this something about since like this is also related to Pali. When you see this sentence like Panati Pata Veramani Sikhapadang Samadhiyami, there is no subject. There is no subject. In this sentence, there is no subject. But when you concern with the verb of this sentence, Samadhiyami, Samadhiyami. So this me, Samadhiyami. So me can be used. Me can be used only with the subject we call ahang, samadhiyami, ahang, samadhiyami. So samadhiyami means you can translate into English as observe, or otherwise undertake, observe or undertake. So when we recite like ahang samadhiyami, I undertake, I observe, sikha padang. So sikha padang, we, even though there are two terms, but we take the meaning as the precept. Sikha padang, the precept. I observe or I undertake the precept. Precept of what? Precept of Veramani. Veramani means abstaining. Pana atipata. Atipata means killing. Atipata means killing, destroying. You can take such terms. So I undertake the precept of abstaining, killing beings. So killing living beings. I observe the precept of abstaining from killing living beings. So here you can see that we are using several diacritical marks. Otherwise, those terms like Sikha Padang, Sikha Padang. So here this M with the dot to denote there is nasal sounds ang. So Padang, Samadhyami. So for this reason, actually, as I said, sometime if you are not familiar with such diacritical marks, sometime it brings the different meaning. It brings the different meaning. Look at this one, like you familiar with the, I mean, like there are two terms like this, vana and vana. Vana and vana. Two terms, right? Vana and vana, two terms. So wait. Vana. So there are two terms, but if you see the pronunciation, they are the same. They are the same without any concerning if you pronounce vana and vana. Vana and vana, they are the same pronunciations. So if you are not using the diacritical marks, of course, they have two different meaning. So one is that this, the first one, vana, related to the forest, vana. And this vana related to the desire. So these diacritical marks, the letter na change the meaning. So that's why I said, like, sometime, even though it might be difficult, but you have to pay attention to recognize what are the diacritical marks. And just like what the terms, like some terms like dahana and dahana. So they are having different meaning. But for the, I just want to remind you that when you use diacritical marks, they are bringing different meaning. So if you are ignoring the diacritical marks, that might be difficult to catch, difficult to understand what exact meaning accepted by using these words. So please try to notice or try to remember whenever, like as I said, these two different words like pana and pana, when you pronounce, the words are exactly the same, but they are having different meaning. They are having different meaning. So that different makes by using the diacritical marks. Okay. Okay, as I said, like those letters, like we have to combine some vowels with consonant with vowels. So these are the 5 groups letters, 25 letters. I said they called as Vagga, or the group letters. But there are like 7 letters. They not belong to any group. So they are called as Avagga letters, non-grouped letters, or in another sense, they are called as semi-vowels. What are those semi-vowels? Ya, ra, la, va, sa, ha, la. 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 So whenever and students, so these 7 letters we call semi-vowels. So now look at, like, when we combine vowels with the consonant with vowels, so we have to pronounce like these: ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ka, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, ke, ko. Lucky, you study Pali. If you study Sanskrit, very different, because Sanskrit alphabet, there are 14 vowels. 14 vowels. We study Pali, only 8 vowels. But in Sanskrit language, there are 14 letters. So just listen. When they pronounce like ka, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, kuru, kuru, plu, plu, ke, kai, ko, kau, kang, kah. It is in Sanskrit. So any venerable familiar, they know the different. And we call like a ka, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, ke, ko, cha, cha, chi, chi, chu, chu, che, cho. So these when we combine vowels with the consonant with vowels, so that make the difference. Any venerable or students would like to have some little break? Venerable?
Yes, Ajahn.
You need some break?
Yes, break 5
Okay,
minutes,
take some
Ajahn.
5-minute break and then we will be back. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, take some break.
Ajahn, can I add?
Yes?
When you mentioned about Awaka,
Sorry?
you talk about Awaka letters that they are
Yeah.
non-grouped letter.
Yes, yes.
And then these non-grouped letter, but again, it has to come with vowel. So it means that the letter itself is standalone, right?
Yes, yes. I mean, like when they clarify the letters, they use such terms like vagga letter or avagga letter. But anyhow, like when we combine, I mean, when we concern with the pronunciation, combining the vowels with consonant, so we have to use like that. So even though the avagga letters, like they call avagga, actually they are not belonging into any group. Any group, and the five groups, but also these the letters, even though when they pronounce, also they belong to actually the previous vagga group. I mean, like a kantaja. So kantaja means the letters are pronouncing with the throat, right? In Pali, it is called like akavaggaha kantaja. Akavaggaha kantaja. So that means a belong to a. When you pronounce a, it also called kantaja. And also ha.
Yeah.
Then a letter a, and ka, ga, nga, and her.
Yeah.
These, so these 8 letters, they called as kantaja. So these letters are because these letters like yaralava sahala, they are not belonging into the group, but according to the pronunciations, they are having such categorized like akavaggaha kantaja, ichavaggaha taluja. So ichavagga taluja. They call they call taluja. Taluja. Yeah, upavagga ottaja. Look at when I pronounce, it is happening within the lips. Yeah, so they call ottaja. So that depends on like a pronunciation. Tavaggarala muddaja. Look at that. Tavagga. Sorry. Tavaggarala mudjada. Ta, da, na, ra. Ra is called muddaja. Ra.
Yeah.
And also like la, they call palatals. So even though these letters, 8 letters, they call avagga, but when we concern with the pronunciations, the kantaja, taluja, dantaja, muddaja, so they belong to different groups. So they are between vowels and consonants. Therefore, they are called as semi-vowels. Semi-vowels. Ya, ra, la, ya, ra, la, va, sa, ha. In Pali, la, there are two la. But in one grammatical traditions, they call Saddhaniti, especially based on Myanmar. Some grammatical tradition, they ignore two la, but they accept only one la. So according to them, there are not even 41 letters, but there are 40 letters.
So there
but
is
don't
no,
worry that the grammatical traditions.
yes. So
But,
the rule and law, they ignore voice sound or voiceless sound of the rule.
Sorry?
So for 40 consonants,
Yes.
that's that's grammatical in theory. It ignores verb with the voice or voiceless.
No, they have, but only thing is that in our, I mean, the what tradition we are studying like Kachayana. So we have like a ya, ra, la, va, sa, ha, la. So there are two la's, right?
Yeah.
But they, as you see that here, one la, when I write, it is with what's called with the dot, with some diacritical marks, right? Like this one, this letter.
Yeah.
Look at this one. This one has no any diacritical marks, but this one with diacritical marks.
Yeah.
So, but that tradition, they ignore this one. They have only one la. So then they ignore this one. But in the when we go through the some wordings in Pali language, of course, they seems like they are having such diacritical marks, some differences. Like otherwise, you know that moola, moolha, moola, moolha. The two terms, like moola means a root. Moola means root. But if you when you write this one, I like if you write this one, moola.
Shorter sound. It's the
Yes,
shorter sound, right?
Yeah. This one is called moola. But another also called like if you this one with this la, they call moola, moolha. Same like a moola, moolha, moola, moolha. So this one like moolha means confused. Moolha means confused.
Right.
But moola means root. Moola means root. And moolha means lost. Someone who has lost the directions. That is called moolha. But moola means the root. You know that when you see that kusala moolam, kusala moolam is the root of wholesome, kusala moola. Okay, so we will come back after.
Yeah. And one last question.
Yes.
You mentioned that there are 25, right? 25 waka.
Group letters. Yes.
Group letters. So it leaves 6 waka letters or what?
Sorry?
Because they are all together 31 consonants, right?
Yeah, actually, okay. When we count total as Byanjana, so when we clarify basic classifications as vowels and consonant. But beside that, consonant again can be divided.
Yeah.
Like Vaggaleta, Avaggaleta. Vaggaleta, Avaggaleta. So 25 letters are included into 5 Vaggas because they starting with the first letter. They call like a Kavagga, Chavagga, Tavagga, Tavagga, Pavagga. So Vagga. But when we count like Yaralava, Sahala, they are not concluded into any Vagga, so they are called as Avagga. So this actually to make us quite familiar with the language. Otherwise, basically you can classify the letters, total 41 letters as vowels and consonant. So that is to But for when you study like it is like what called something like advanced, or to make it easier, it further easier, we can clarify or we can classify into another classifications, right? So that is why I mean like this the text actually we have this classification, but if you I mean like we can simply say that vowels and consonant.
แต่ว่าเอกสารก็ยังไม่ได้เตรียมอย่างมันเลยก็ยังไงก็คือจะเตรียมมันต้องเตรียมเอกสารของห้องก็ยมบอกมาเด้อ
Yes, I ask questions because I try to understand, it's incomparable to Roman alphabet as well as to, Thai Bali grammar. So I just try to, compare them. That's why I ask these kinds of questions, because I look at a Thai Bali text at the moment in comparison to what you are teaching. So it makes me understand more. Thank you.
Don't worry that any questions you can ask, I'm willing to answer.
Thank you.
It doesn't mean that I know everything, but I can answer.
Yeah.